Just when you think that it can't get any worse in the comic book industry, that it can't go any further, that they can't go any more degenerate than they already have over the last several years, well, then DC goes ahead and does something like this. This is an actual panel from a comic book that was released. The Joker is pregnant. And actually, the Joker gives birth in this comic book. When I first saw this panel, I thought this had to be fake. This had to be somebody else did this. It's just a prank. It's some stupid thing. No, this is real, and it is disgusting and disturbing, but that's the comic book industry now. Well, what have we here? I think you're pregnant. I think you're right. There is Joker, a biological male, by the way, somehow pregnant. Let's get into this story. DC introduces Joker's new son with a surprise hero. The Joker has a brand new son with the surprise DC Comics character in a wacky new adventure starring the Clown Prince of Crime and an unlikely hero. The Joker has a brand new son with a DC Comics hero who wants nothing to do with the Clown Prince of Crime. In The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing #4, a spell from Zatanna, where she states that no one else will ever be allowed to have his baby, leads to the creation of a monster that Joker claims is the magical hero's son too. So Zatanna casts a spell basically saying nobody can ever have your baby. That's what the premise of this is. So instead of it preventing anybody else from basically getting pregnant by the Joker, he is the one that becomes pregnant with his own child. And I really do wish this was a joke, but it's not. Here it is from the actual comic right here. Well, what do we have here? Just like we said before, I think you're pregnant. I think you're right. This is after he gets out of bed, after that spell was done on him. And then you even have this scene here. Here's the next panel. You ready? Ready as I'll ever be, Atomic Skull. It's Dr. Phosphorus. Is this going to hurt, Doc? Well, I don't even know where the baby is going to come out from down here, so probably. Well, let's begin to push. I pushed, Director Bones didn't do anything. And then he throws up mud, and that mud ends up being, it ends up like forming into a child that looks exactly like him. And then he eventually goes to Zatanna and says, "Look, Zatanna, this is our son." While Zatanna attempted to ensure the Joker never brought children into the world, saying no one else will ever have his baby instead of just no one, she accidentally made it possible for him to have a child with her, as it can only be hers as a result. So Joker ends up getting bizarrely pregnant and delivering birth to a mud monster who eventually takes human-like form. He takes his son Zatanna and introduces him as theirs. It's a bizarre scene in a story meant to showcase the sillier side of the villain. This is disgusting. Like, this is legitimately disgusting. I saw Jane Theory tweeted out about this too with this part of the panel. The people who are writing comic books right now, they are absolute freaks. They have destroyed the entire comic book industry by consistently pushing, whether it's their social justice, their identity politics, their woke nonsense, or even a creepy ass agenda just like this, with men getting pregnant in the DC universe. Now, some might, throw this out and be like, oh, it's just this one little thing. It's just a stupid story. If it was just this, maybe you could say that. But this has been a pattern for nearly a decade of Marvel and DC, of the entire industry, continuing to push for this weird shit. Who are they making this for? Who is interested in something like this? The reality is, the freaks that are making this, the woke losers who are now working in the comic book industry as artists and writers, they're making it for themselves. That's the only explanation. They're trying to change all these characters gay. They're trying to change a bunch of them trans. That's what we've seen play out. And now you're having a biological male in the Joker somehow being able to get pregnant. Of course, that's Zatanna's child, apparently, but you would think that when you see something like this, no, this has to be fake. But now, if you see something like this, you should just assume that it's reality. You should assume that the most degenerate possible thing you can imagine from the comic book industry is real, because that's what we're seeing play out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.